You've talked yourself out of this. You wind people up. You're fired. You're fired. You are fired.
And welcome to a new series of The Apprentice, You're Fired. I'm Dara Breen. For the next 12 weeks, with the help of guest experts and buckets of unseen footage, we'll be getting under the skin of our 16 budding business leaders as they battle it out to become Lord Sugar's chosen one. Obviously, this is my first day in the office as well. And it's always vital at the start of a gig to make the right first impressions.
There's absolutely nothing mediocre about me. I'm supremely intelligent, ambitious. I'm an all-round gifted individual.
Remember, the tone you're looking for is one of humility.
I consider myself an absolutely fantastic salesman. Everything I touch turns to sold.
I mean, the last thing you want to say is something that your colleagues are going to remember forever.
Success and money motivate me. My first word wasn't mummy, it was money.
Oh, it's nice to have them back, isn't it? Let's meet our panel, ladies and gentlemen. Apprentice fans one and all. Master chefs John Turode, comedian Jenny Eclair, and the editor of Time Out, Mark Fritz. It was midnight in the boardroom when it all began, and it ended when one man's sausage failed to sizzle.
The failure of the task was down to the team leader. I think you had your chance. You blew it. Dan, you're fired.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dan Harris. Richard, would you like some sausages down by any chance? They're 87% rusk. Yeah, no. OK. Dan, what went wrong?
I got fired. OK,
sorry. Let's roll back even further than that. Why specifically? Looking back, because you sat through it now, which is a tough thing, I'm sure, to watch.
Yeah, I spent most of the time watching that episode behind a pillow. So, yeah, cringe-worthy moments on there, certainly. I think I took quite a strong leadership style. I don't know if you picked up on that in the...
That is nicely put, yeah, you did, like a sergeant major might, with a team of new recruits. But, but watching it back, like whatever, what would you have done differently?
Well, I'd won, for starters.
Yeah.
I think the strategy that I had was to buy as cheap as possible. I think that, John, you'll have some comments about the quality of the sausages that we produced today. To try and get some stuff to market and to make a profit, which I did achieve, just £15 too little profit.
Yes, it is a tight margin, all right. Your management style didn't win any admirers, so let's take a look at that.
I can intimidate people. I'll lead the team, you do all the work.
Who do you
Dudes, you ready then?
kidding, Mr. Hitler?
Who's cutting the meat? Work quick, Alex. Get that done now. Who's cutting the meat? Who the fuck is it?
Boys who will stop your...
The message from your 7 colleagues is not good.
If I achieve what I want, I don't care.
Shiv,
what the fuck are you doing about? All you're doing is fucking up. I said stop, shut up.
First impressions, knob.
He's certainly got a big whiff of arrogance about him.
There ain't been a good word spoken about you by anybody yet.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that it's not been a good word spoken.
Yeah, you're quite the dictator, aren't you? Is this the way it works in the TA these days? Is it that vicious?
No, it's not.
It's a charming style, but, like, I mean, John, we're talking food prepper, and chefs, for example, are famously dictatorial in the kitchens. Is there anything wrong with that?
Well, first of all, the chef has to know what they're doing before they tell anybody else what to do. You know, they've got to know the task before they can actually start barking orders. The thing is with chefs, they don't learn management style. What they do is they learn how to cook. And then, unfortunately, they're taken off the stove and have to try and manage lots of people. And that's why they actually, I think they sort of get... They don't have the confidence, really, to run the team, so they start to scream and shout, some of them. But as they get older and more experienced, they calm down a little bit.
So you would have mellowed?
Oh, absolutely.
How many years do you think it would have taken you to have mellowed?
Just the one, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
OK, cool. Jenny, would you take orders like that from a
Well,
boss?
now, I have some admiration for you, Dan, actually, because I think you pulled off that dictator thing in a blue plastic bonnet. And I don't think that's easy. I really don't.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sorry. I mean, I do sympathise with you now because you'll have watched that and your willy will have shrivelled slightly.
I doubt that.
Okay, one quick question, Mark. Just on terms of like shouting orders and all that. Like, I mean, you're an editor of a magazine. You don't write all the articles in the magazine. There is an element of delegation and telling people what to do. I mean, where did he go wrong then?
Well, no one does it like that anymore. It's interesting, sometimes with The Apprentice, there's a real kind of moral in the story of certain shows. And the moral of the story, I think, in this one, is that in this day and age, that no one in the world of business has that uber-aggressive attitude to management. It just doesn't exist anymore. And I think you maybe thought that's what Lord Sugar wanted. You probably thought that was what was going to impress him. But actually, he's not impressed by that at all. It just went way too far. The shouting, the swearing, it was just bizarre. It was truly bizarre. It was like, and you never sat down. You were standing up, and everything was kind of very formal and very jumpy.
But the other question I want to ask was, like, this is in your favour. There is a poison chalice element to this as well. You took the job on the first task.
Yeah, I think that it is a poison chalice, and I think that majority of project managers who've been up first have got fired, and I'm certainly aware of that. But if you've seen my reaction on the film, as soon as I said, right, I'm going to do this, I instantly regretted it. But I kind of thought...
Were you hoping someone was going to get in and say,
oh, yeah.
no, me?
That was the one thing you had over them, because at the end, when you were saying to Shibby, well, you didn't put yourself forward, and you kind of went into the background, that was the thing they could not come back on. That was when you had got them, because none of them did. But if you knew it was a poison chalice, why do it? Because that is the too big a risk to take. You know, effectively, there's 1 in 2 chance that you're going to go in the first episode.
If you lose the task. And what I wanted to try and do was to win that task. So I took a very strong, full-on attack mode.
That's such a big risk. Why take that risk? You want to be there to the end. You wanted to be there to the final.
Yeah,
you were not the kind of bloke who wants to go in episode 1.
I'm very competitive, and I wanted to win, but this is not my style to sit back and let someone else take the lead. I went for it, and it was a high-risk strategy, and had it paid off by 15 quid, you know, I'd have had time to, not maybe a year, but time to mellow in over a couple more episodes, get used to the pressure that you feel.
I thought you were just a bit premenstrual. And I know what that's like.
By way of contrast, let's take a look at how the girls' team was led by Joanna.
I'm Joanna. Let's go for it.
Really?
Yeah. I trust that you're all here to do a good job. Girls, there's a change. We need to up the meat content. The final decision is to make the sausage a gourmet sausage. Sandy is going to be measuring the ingredients out. Just have to calm down, take your time. And freshly made this morning, £6. Okay, you guys, I want you to go round the businesses and carry on selling.
Well done, Richard.
Oh, no, it was all of you. You were all brilliant.
So, by contrast, did Joanna impress you, Jenny?
Oh, yes, she's lovely, isn't she? She's a sort of deputy head girl. Because I say deputy because there's a little bit of naughty in her, so she is not proper head girl. I think all the girls are still like girls do. They all like each other for the first couple of days. I'm looking forward to desperately them all turning on each other, which is inevitable. The boys kind of went into pack mentality immediately, but the girls are pretending to be sort of reasonable, decent, honest people for the time being, but obviously they'll go psychotic quite soon, because that's what we do. But no, good for her. Northern girl, sort of no-nonsense, liked her.
John, could you take any more management lessons from the way Joanna ran her team?
Well, the one thing she did do, of course, was just ask for other people's opinions, you know, about the name of everything and what was going on, what they were going to sell, and everybody sort of took it on board and agreed nicely, to an extent.
There was only £15 between the two teams, and it was a sales issue. I mean, but you're half of the team, let's face it. It wasn't a sales masterclass, was it?
Your background states that you're a sales director.
Yes. OK, these 90p each.
Next pit's a sausage.
Yeah, have you seen the size of them? Have you seen the size of them? I can go out there and I can sell. Hello, want some sausages?
This is what you do for your day job.
I admit that I didn't sell, but I focused on being a project manager.
You're the man.
I want to aim.
We don't think we're going to have
we go past first. Whichever comes first.
Well, what's our strategy now, then? What are we doing?
Let's do something, which is a stock take.
You only sold 14 quid's worth, actually.
Yeah, not a top day from a selling point of view.
Yeah, now, I have to say one thing. In your, just in your defence, you have created history. No one has tried to sell sausages door to door. I don't think I would ever, if the doorbell rang and someone went, sausage man, run to I can think of all the products I would sooner buy magic beans I would quicker buy than sausages door to door. Right?
Especially dressed with those hats on. There's somebody up president, meat. Would you like a sausage?
It's just a weird thing. Why did you think, obviously people at home, that's what they want. They want a stranger delivering processed meat with no proof of provenance just to the door, random. Yeah, I'd murder some sausages now. How did this, at that stage, you were clutching, weren't you?
Well, it was breakfast time, so perhaps sausages would have been on the menu.
Yeah. OK, yeah. I don't know if would you buy sausages if somebody...
No, because, I mean, obviously, they're going to be knockoff, they're going to be weird, they're going to be full of tapeworm. You don't buy sausages from a stranger, as you said, Dara, you don't know. Dusters, maybe.
Oh, man, the stuff that was into these were not good-looking sausages.
Well, we'll put the roast skin, yeah?
OK. As a study in depression, a man at 4 in the morning watching dry paste fired out.
Those sausages look like, when dachshunds go to the lavatory. That's what those sausages look like.
I mean, they
were not appetising.
So, generally, I mean, I know that you may have disrespect, but sausages come out of this whole process extremely badly. I think this has been a bad episode of The Apprentice for sausages, generally.
Well, no, I think for the girls, 70% meat, that's about right. You can't make a sausage for more than that because actually it will explode, it will fall apart. So it does need a certain amount of fat in it, it does need a certain amount of grain in it, like rusk or whatever it is, to take up the water. So as it does cook, it holds together. But the fact is, one of the greatest things I heard on that was when they said how much salt, and he meant 450 grams. That's half a kilo of salt. How much meat did you have?
Slightly less.
Yeah. Some of your team's selling skills did leave a lot to be desired. I hope Shibby, for example, is a better surgeon than he is a negotiator.
The entire box, I'll do it for 60 quid. Take it or leave it.
50.
55. Meet me midway. Meet me midway. OK, 53. 53.
50?
50 it is.
Now, the best bit, mind you, is his reaction. Watch his reaction when he leaves the restaurant. Personally, I would have felt sheepish and embarrassed.
Smacked it, boys! Smacked
Do you know, there are peace deals that have been celebrated with less enthusiasm than that particular deal. And the other thing is, he's a surgeon. I don't want a surgeon who's that happy for a mediocre result. I'm a surgeon coming into my family going, good news, we saved a toe. We had to throw the rest of them out, but you can keep the toe. That's the level. He was appalling negotiating.
I think the reason he was so happy then about pulling off the deal is because it was money. It was 50 quid that they didn't have when they walked in there, and they needed that kind of money, which by that point, that's why they're so happy.
And it was £15. I mean, credit for credit, you did sell, you did make money.
Yeah, I mean, making profit's the first thing, because I think Lord Sugar's not particularly a big fan of people who lose his money. So making profit was good, just not quite enough.
Now, you'd have run in with a number of members of your team. Probably the most notable would be Stuart, or as we like to say here, Stuart Baggs, the brand.
Never sold anything really of any value?
I did sell.
How much did you sell?
Not make this about the sales numbers. Ultimately,
well, it is, because you said that you were leading the sales team. You've got relevance. You're a sales director.
And
you said that you were leading the team. You can lead and sell. You can lead and sell. You don't need to not be selling while you're leading. You can lead and sell at the same time. Dan, how many sausages did you make yesterday?
What I did was I managed a team that produced over 1,100 sausages.
That's, on a calculator, naught.
Any love lost there between you and Stuart?
I think Stuart's a great guy.
Wow, you're good. It's very smooth. Yeah, it's tense, though, presumably, in the room, isn't it? It's tense.
Yeah, I think it is very, very tense. And going into the boardroom for the first time, particularly when you know you're going to be coming back as one of those two to get fired, it's really daunting. And you see the series pan out in previous years, and I kind of hoped I'd learned from other people's mistakes, but failed to do so.
Yes, well, there is a feature we have every week, the One That Got Away feature, and I think it's very safe to say that Stuart stays so close to the wind, and he's definitely the one that got away.
To be brutally honest, I sold the most here, and I always will, because I know how to connect with people. I'm pretty good at that kind of psychology. Excuse me, sir, you look like a sausage connoisseur. Okay. certainly sold, if not the most.
You didn't sell the most, no.
You sold 14 packs.
14 packs.
Sausages? No sausages? If you have any problems, feel free to keep them to yourself. Yes, banker. There's a line, and I think you're stepping over it.
That's exactly how it